Alright. What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. It's another Thursday, another week, and another update patch review. This time we're going to be talking about the update that we recently got. There wasn't like too much that we didn't already talk about before, but there's still some stuff that we have to talk about, right? And of course the buffs, I would have loved to have done all the testing for all those units today, but sadly I don't get the option to. So give me a second while I let everyone know in the Discord that we are live. Alright. So there we go. Alright, so and I'll turn on the camera in a second too. But yeah, just a usual weekly update for Epic 7. What's going on, what's happening, what's coming next. Some of the units, some of the cool stuff that's actually coming out, and some of the unit buffs, and some of the stuff that's been going on. This should be a good time. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. And I've heard down the grapevine that Mort is actually not that bad, that the buff might actually have been just enough. And I also did hear that there are some ratio changes on some of the units. I think I memorized them properly, but just in case I might have to relook them up when we get to it. Hey, what's up, Elias? All right, let me turn my camera on. So yeah, I know it's an early stream. It's a little earlier than our normal streams, but yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with the usual that we always do, which is just going over the patch notes themselves, and then we'll go over the stream and we'll go from there. And if we have extra time, I do want to test out some of the new units that recently got buffed, especially Ravi. She's the one that did get like that I really want to be good, because like she's one of my favorite units in terms of design. So I really want her to be better than currently is, right? So that's the hope. The other one we're gonna see is Mercedes, who I actually think is gonna be way better than I expected the first time through. So with that, let's just get started with what we have, right? So first, balance updates, right? That was the big thing this time around. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Glad you could drop by. I appreciate it. But yeah, so cool thing is that we are getting the hero and balance adjustments that we saw 2 weeks ago. Yes, very early stream. What's up, TZ? But nobody likes say Ravi, but we'll look over. We talked about it before, but we'll look at it again. Now that they're actually out, and that we kind of know a better idea on how RTA meta is shaping up to be. Right now, from all the games I played in RTA, Landy, Violet, Stene, Amelia, those are like the big ones, right? That's the big units that you're going to be facing almost every time. Carrot, right? Rem, right? Like these big DPSs that are good at doing AoE and that are so good at surviving a lot of hits, right? That's like the current meta right now. Right, so knowing that, and knowing what's meta right now, who looks like they could actually be one of them? They nerfed Mercedes Artifact. Did they make it so it wouldn't counter when she got hit? That's one of the ones I did want to talk about. Because we were discussing it last night, and we were like, if this artifact triggers a counterattack when she's hit, and makes it so she doesn't need to have a counter set, she could low-key be like, busted, right? Like she could be something else. Oh, her art. Oh, yeah, the art. Some people really don't like the art. The artifact is low-key busted. I can't see it because it's a spoiler. Oh, my God. Okay, whatever. Okay, Smilegate. We'll have to see that when we actually look at the stream. Okay. But, okay, let's go back to the buffs. Talk about them, the ones I needed. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for letting me know, God King, because that's actually very relevant to Mercedes now. But, okay, as far as Apocalypse Ravi, I just don't think it's enough to actually make her, like, super-duper good, right? So, the S1, having injury... honestly, this might as well not be that much of a buff. This would be nice if we ever get a slow meta, but it does not look like we're ever getting a slow meta, right? Where this will actually have time to ramp up, where it will get to a point where this difference matters, right? Could be that like there's a tiny chance we'll get a slower meta and then this will be a big change. But the problem with injury is like it takes way too long for it to actually start ramping up to a point that it starts to actually make an impact in the game, right? So it's not bad, but it's nice. Is Ravi worth the pull now? I don't know. I have to test her. I don't want to talk too much about her because I do want to test mine, and I will try different builds on her. I might try the speedier build and try to see if this actually makes a difference. One thing that was cool though is that they changed the S1 soul burn to do more damage. That's not something that they put here, but her S1 now does more damage on soul burn, right? So the S1 used to be here. They gave her like a slightly higher modifier, which is really nice, right? That they buffed the damage a little bit on the S1 soul burn. because sometimes you did need that for killing. This is the more significant one. For anything, this is the one that you would actually care about for a Ravi. If you used a Ravi, it's the 15% when hit. The biggest problem she had is she often would get ignored, and then when it's just her standing, she just would get cycled out. So the fact that you can cycle now makes it kind of like original Ravi. But think about how strong regular Ravi is, right? Like regular Ravi gets dummy CR push, right? And even she's not like that strong in the meta right now, just because of how many units there are gatekeeping it, right? So it's one of those things that kind of, so it's really nice. It's a really nice change, honestly. Like it's amazing. But I don't see her, this is not going to be enough for her to cycle enough to make an impact, but it does give her the potential to be a counter to cleave. That's the thing I do have to admit. This could potentially make her a good cleave counter because she's very tanky. And she's going to be very annoying to take down. She's always been an annoying, tanky unit to take out. So against aggro teams, this could be the difference that she needed to be able to actually cut in. And it actually makes her a decent counter to Strase too, because she can cut in right after Strase and potentially heal. The last one is the S3, which we did get the ratios for. So she does revive them with more HP, and that she does get when someone dies, it goes up to an extra 25% per stack. So if 3 people died with a Ravi on the field, they will get an extra, she will get an extra 75% damage to the skill. That's a lot, right? Her S3 used to do like 9k-ish, 10k-ish on like Bruiser type units. So this could do like really good damage in Frenzy, right? Yes, and that is true. Ravi is low-key kind of in favor. So overall, really good changes. I don't know if it's enough, right? As someone who's used it before, it's definitely nice. I will definitely have to do more testing. I don't want to say like for sure or not, because this is a really nice change. The fact that she gets CR push, this is really nice because she'll actually be able to execute way more efficiently. There was a lot of times that they would be alive by like very little, and I wasn't able to bring anyone back. Right, so this is also very nice. All in all, it's nice. It's nice. She's definitely in a way better spot. If before she was like a C tier, she's like at least B tier. Right, she's still definitely used. Everything's unfavorable, yeah, to an extent. You're gonna test Luna and Mort today. Cedric, if we have time, sadly, I was gonna talk about this in the video that was gonna come out today because I did a lot of the video stuff today that's gonna release this week. But if y'all didn't know, I did start school again, so my schedule's gonna slow down a lot, and I have someone visiting me in an hour and a half. So depending if we have time to get to it, I do want to test out Luna because I actually think she's amazing. Right, so Luna, out of all of them, I think she got the biggest buff. The soul burn here is amazing for PvE and PvP, for cleaving and for non-cleaving. This is amazing for her Bruiser stat line. You always get the crit rate and you always get the crit resistance. This is actually really annoying. It can actually make her really bulky, right? Like this crit rate resistance can make it so if you're trying to kill Luna, you're not gonna be able to do it, right? But yes, I think Stena is a counter to Violet, by the way. Stena is definitely a counter to Violet, 100%. But if you have a tanky team, Violet's not gonna, like, you're gonna kill Violet before Stena will kill Violet before Violet gets to. But again, the thing about Luna is I think out of all the ones on here, she's the most likely to be meta relevant. Why do I say that, right? The S3, just the amount of souls that this generates is amazing. One thing that they don't tell you here is how the ratios were changed. She went from a 1.5 modifier to a 1.1 modifier. So overall, like all in all, she is doing more damage than she was before. But it's not that much higher against like squishy units, right? But in squishy units, you're already one-shotting. This is pretty big. I mean, the penetrate 50% is really good against boosters. It's really good against other things. But this is really nice. So why do I think she'll be actually meta relevant? Well, there's 2 units that I can think of that Luna has a very favorable matchup against, right? And the 2 units that she has a favorable matchup against is Carrot, really good matchup against Carrot, and really good matchup into Charlotte, right? Which are both very strong units in today's meta. And the thing about it is she doesn't lose to Landy that bad, because if they don't have Guiding Light on their Landy, which a lot of people have moved out their Guiding Lights off of their Landies, this skill ignores elemental advantage, right? If anything, it gives you elemental advantage when you use this S3, and it does pretty good damage. You could potentially one-shot a Landy, right? If you have a well-built Luna, you'll be able to one-shot a Landy from the gate if they don't have a way to stop you, right? So I think that is what's really making her really scary. Yeah, one tap all meta DPS is 7%. I believe it, right? And then the other thing is that the amount of souls this skill generates, it generates a raw 5 souls. Like, she gets 5 souls for free. I don't think there's another unit in this game that just gives you 5 souls unconditionally. And then if it kills, you get an extra 5 souls on top. That's a whole soul burn. Right? That's a lot of soul generation just from doing a skill that does dummy damage, right? That can decrease defense, that attacks with a greater element. And if you kill, you get an extra attack, right? And you get those souls. You're guaranteed to basically kill another unit, right? So Luna will definitely be something that she will see play. She will see play one way or another, whether it's Bruiser, because she's really annoying with this, or if it's a speed super balls to the wall Luna build, because she can survive a couple of hits with this passive, and she is a warrior, so she has access to some really good artifacts to actually survive, and then just come in and clap, right? She can just come in and clap someone. So it's really, really cool. She will actually be a good unit. When her banner comes around again, you want to pull for this unit, right? It has been winning more on Emperor and build her speed. Yes. I think that's actually like Speed Luna and Bruiser Luna are both viable builds for her, but I think for sure the Speed Luna build just makes the most sense for her. It's gonna be really annoying, right? Especially like in cleave teams, because against a cleave team, you're trying to survive and then clap back, but she can survive, so you're not gonna be able to kill her if she doesn't already kill 2 of your units, right? She's very strong. She's very strong now. As far as Kawaric, I'm hoping that he got a really nice quality of life change. The only thing is, I don't think he'll see play right now, just because there's a lot of other speed contesters and there's a lot of AoE units, right? But yes, I do gawking. I could see the speed build being the best. I'm gonna try both. Y'all know me, I'm a Banshee gamer. I will definitely try the counter build on her to see how I like it. But yes, the damage build just makes the most sense from a perspective from this skill, because you get 2 units. Self-sufficient 2 units, you do not need a book holder. That's what's crazy to me. This unit does not need a book holder. She is her own book holder, because all you have to do is kill with the S3, right? You give her a flan to buff her. Oh my god, you're killing anything in this game, dude. You kill anything in this game, you get the souls, you kill anything in this game again, right? She's a really good cleave unit. She's a really good aggro unit, and she's a really good cleave unit. Really good cleave unit, because she doesn't need souls, right? And one of the weaknesses of cleave is actually that reliance on souls. And the fact that she does not need souls to do her job effectively, it's pretty amazing, right? It's the same idea. It's the reason why Strasser is so good, right? Strasser doesn't need souls, right? He just S3s and kills something. So in the same idea, Luna doesn't need souls. She's a self-sufficient soul generator that can give you 10 souls, right? That's crazy to me that you can do that. And she gives herself her own extra attack. Kawaric, again, nothing too crazy. It was a quality of life change. There's too many AoE units right now. Like, can you imagine going in with Kawaric S2, right? To reset, like, let's say I made Chloe, and then the Rem counterattacks you, right? You're out of stealth, and then you're just dead the next turn. That sucks, right? So that still sucks that you can still get hit out of stealth quite easily. He doesn't self-barrier like he said does, which is a weakness. But down the line, like with Light Angelica, where we start getting these really big turn 1 units, I could see Kawaric getting some play as a tech option. I think he'll be a high ceiling tech option for players, right? For aggressive players, he'll be a really good tech option. That if you know what you're doing and in the right situation, he's just gonna be a force ban, or you're getting reset for free, right? So he looks interesting. I definitely think he's like worth building, but it's really hard to actually build. Hey, Jesus, I saw something from Mexico. But yes, oh yeah, Luna's will definitely get tons of like stat lines. She's a stat set even without anything. All right, as far as Mort is the one that like people seem to really like this buff. And hey, what's up, Tasif? But for some reason, people really like the Mort buff, and like they actually think that he's gonna be amazing. I still don't see him being like busted, but he's definitely considerably a better unit. Like, this is how he should have been released. I would have expected this to have been his base kit. To be completely honest with y'all, this is what I would have expected from a base kit. Right? He has a very strong S1 that ignores F rest, decreased defense. Right? If you give him the EE, this goes up to 65%, which is really, really nice. And the soul burn being here now is also really, really good. Right? That's incredible. Right? The fact that you can do that is incredible. Right? Having a reliable decreased defense can go a long way in a lot of fights. The other part is they gave him a counter attack chance when attacked, and it's actually significantly higher than the counter set. Right, that's also good because he's a knight. He can use Elris sword. The EE, what are the EEs? So EEs are exclusive equipments. Mort's, it's like extra chance on the S2, extra chance on the S1, and then I think like damage. on the S3, I think, but I'm not sure. Let me double check. Because they usually do like 1, 2, like they do 2 or 1, but they usually have a variety. Where's Mort? There he is. Yeah, so higher chance to... Oh, it's only to 60%. Higher chance. Extends the buff duration. Okay, that's actually really good. And then the damage. I would say all of them are good for him, honestly. Yeah, so it's damage on the S3. Extends the turn. This one's actually could be really annoying. Because it gives him more turns of speed buff. And it gives you more turns of crit resist. And you're actually going to be triggering this a lot more. And then this one is just... Honestly... It's not enough percentage for me to think that this is good enough, right? I'd rather just use a soul burn if I really want to decrease defense. So it's not worth the justification for losing one of these 2 buffs, right? Something that's super reliable or something that's giving you like more advantage. So overall, the S2 is actually going to be pretty annoying now because he gets speed buff for 3 turns and crit resist for all allies for 2 turns. So that's pretty annoying actually if you're trying to hit him. And the counterattack, of course, that's amazing. That fixed a massive issue that Mort had. Mort's biggest issue was that he would just get focused down, and it still is, right? Like he just gets blown up, right? That used to be the... But oh really, it's just a crit resist? That sucks. Oh, it's just a crit resist. That's stupid. Okay, so it's just a crit resist. That's fine. I mean, he still gets speed buff for 2 turns. It's still really good. But thank you for the correction, Topsy. I appreciate it. But yeah, pretty nice, right? It covered one of his biggest weaknesses, which is the fact that he would get blown up, right? And then of course the S3 just got a raw damage scaling and a little bit more healing, which is also nice, right? And hey, what's up, Spin? But yeah, so overall, he's much better, right? Like he's actually looks like a cohesive kit. Like his kit actually makes sense now. He's a counter-attacking knight with a very annoying S1 that could potentially decrease defense your whole team. He has an S2 that again is very annoying, gives him some speed buff. Makes him annoying to try to take down. And he also does have better damage on the S3. Doesn't rely on the soul burn here. You can use it for more utility. So he definitely got more of a supporter role this patch, right? I don't think he's like a big DPS stop unit, but he's definitely a very annoying support style unit. If you think of him as a support style unit, it's actually pretty nice. Another thing is like you actually can build him with lifesteal. You could still use his artifact, but I still think Elres is the best artifact for him. Like, Elris just makes too much sense on him. Because the counterattack chance, it's only when he gets hit. Right? Which, if you don't have Elris sword, they are just going to ignore your Mort. Right? And that's what a lot of people will do. The second they realize it's not Elris, they'll just leave him for last. So, Elris will stack with this one. So now you basically counterattack if anyone on your party gets hit. Or if you get hit yourself, giving you a really high chance to counter on AoE attack. Right? So we're all much better. Right? I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm really excited to try a full dragon team. That's going to be really fun because I have all dragons maxed out. Right? All my dragon units are like not maximal Agora, but pretty close to maximal Agora. They're 6-star fully awakened. Right? The only thing they need is gear. So that's going to be a really fun video on Monday. So that's what I was planning to do, was actually Mort, Luna, Alencia, and Fallen Cecilia, because technically Fallen Cecilia is a dragon, and taking them to Guild Wars. Does the counter... It would do it individually. It wouldn't add on to this, right? What it would most likely do is it would check twice. So if you have it on counter gear, it would check this 30% chance one time, and then it would check your counter gear's 20% chance. But don't quote me on that. That's how I imagine it would work, but it would not make it 50%, right? It comes out to less than 50% if you want to think of it that way. If you give him counter set, he would not have 50% chance to counter. It'd be closer to like 40 something, but because it just checks it as a separate event. Roaming Warrior Leo, in theory, really cool. In Arena and Guild Wars will probably be fun, but in RTA there's just too much stuff. There's too much stuff. Sadly, that's the only problem with them. Leo, really cool kid though. He's actually a cohesive unit again, right? So like a lot of these were like making unplayable units actually playable. If you want to have fun with Leo, if you bring a Soul Burner, you can actually like get a guaranteed stun on someone. Or not guaranteed, because you have to have 15% to actually land the skill. But you're able to like apply bombs on everyone, which is really annoying, right? Like this is actually really annoying. If you've ever dealt with bombs, they're very scary because you know when they go off, you're getting stunned. The only problem, as we mentioned, is if you don't have the soul burns to immediately pop one of them, you are gonna get cleansed by Maid Chloe, you're gonna get cleansed by an Amelia, you're gonna get cleansed by a lot of cleansers that are very popular in the meta right now, right? But again, it's a fun control unit, and he has ways to survive, right? Because he gets skill nullifier, and he can pop one of them right away and apply pretty good damage, right? So overall, he'll be fun. He'll be a fun unit for sure. He'll be fun. I just don't know how viable he'll be, just because there's a lot of answers to what he can do, right? Especially with Light Angelica coming out, she can literally just negate this, right? So there's that. Domaniel, some people say she's bad now, but that's the people that used to play her. I actually want to build her now. Like, for me, I'm like the opposite. Everyone is like, oh, she sucks now because you can't do stuff with her. But for me, I'm like, she looks so much cooler. So the best thing I personally really like is the fact that you have it's stunning instead of a decreased speed. It's actually a lot more impactful if you actually get a stun. That actually makes it, you know, like significant. The one I could see being annoying is this one. That the fact that you are essentially, you can't activate the reflect on your own. That part I understand for someone that's used Domaniel in the past. If you were using her for a certain type of team composition, like for a meme team, right? That you wanted to give your team barrier and reflect on command, that sucks, right? Because that they essentially changed how the unit works. But now she looks like a really attractive option for anti-cleaving, right? Granted, there's so many anti-cleaver options, but the barrier is actually pretty thick, right? It's 25% of the allies' max health. It goes up to 25%, I believe. That's what someone leaked, which is a lot, right? 25% barrier. That's like essentially the unit gets a 25% HP boost when she's around. So that's cool. That's really cool. And then reflect, of course, it's annoying. The only thing is like now it's conditional to the opponent. And then the S3, they made it better as well, because you have the same chance to stun, but now you have a higher chance to decrease Kawaric and you get increased speed, right? So it's a pretty good skill 3, right? I like it. So I like her now. I actually want to build her just because she looks really fun as like a annoying counter bruiser mage that doesn't necessarily have to take turns, right? That's why I think she'd be fun as a counter mage. I'm a big fan of counter control units. To me, are like my favorite thing in this game. I love countering and getting like something off of it. Yeah, she can't guarantee it, which sucks. That part does suck, right? I will say that part does suck. But now on to Mercedes. All right, so Mercedes is actually looking dummy spicy, right? And I think this is counting the SC. I'm not sure if this counts the SC or if this is before SC. I have not finished episode 3, but I want to see if it's exact same as what they showed. So I'll just use the stream one, because the stream one should be more accurate for this. All right.
You could definitely tell she got...
So I don't know if it's I have not finished it yet, but Mercedes actually looks really fun too. So let me actually see the power-ups, right? Let's see if they match to what they showed. So attack 2 enemies before increasing combat readiness. Okay, so it is this change, right? So that is the change that they're giving her, the power-up. I think you do have to complete some storyline to actually get it though, or at least to get the artifact. The artifact is huge though. The artifact is huge. Let's actually look at it from here. So the S1 has always attacked 2 enemies. That's always been the case. And now she gets combat readiness, which means she can cycle. What's really cool that I'm starting to think, it's like if you put her on like counter set, she could actually proc this, but you don't even need counter set. So first, let's look at the kit, right? So first, S2 gives her advantage because you're getting turns, and it also hits 2 enemies, which is nice because you can potentially hit things like Stenit, right? That's cool. The only problem is you can also hit things like not Rem, which means you could get countered, right? So that's always the negative with a lot of these. It's like if you hit 2, you don't control who the second one is, so you could potentially hit a unit you don't want to hit, like an RB. If you're waiting an extra turn to kill an RB but she procs, then it could be really bad. Dimensional Rupture, this is the one that they actually changed quite a bit, right? So it's an AoE attack that has a chance to dispel 1 buff, right? When there are 3 or fewer enemies, you get increased damage, and when you have granted increased attack, you do the skill again but with less damage. The part that this skill comes crazy comes with the artifact that we'll go over in a second. And then of course, then there's the S3, which gives herself attack buff, or to all allies, right? So she gets attack buff to everyone. And you... Wait, I actually never seen this part. Immense power. Increase attack by 15% drive. Wait. Wait, she got an army passive? Wait, what? Release the power ancient book to toggle a critical hit will increase damage dealt. Immense power will remain throughout the battle. Wait, what the heck? What? Since when did she get this? Wait, what the frick? I had not seen this. Wow, that is huge. That's not in this patch, I'm pretty sure. So this is part of the SC. She got army. This already makes her really, really cool. Wow. Wow. She got army passive, basically. That's really cool. The only thing is that it's not a revive and CR push like Arby. It's just a... She's a 150% health unit. I think. I don't think it means... I don't know if she revives or not. It is revive. So she does revive. So will she lose all buffs and debuffs? That's what I'm kind of curious. It's not CR. I know it's not like an RB, but it's still like... That's pretty good. That's really good. I was not expecting her to get that. That's awesome. But the big one is actually the artifact. She has an exclusive artifact, so only she can equip this artifact. And you do get the artifact maxed out when you clear episode 3, I believe. So, first, it gives her damagement, right? As soon as she has a buff. No, she just has immense power. She just has it. She just has immense power. It looks like it's just a passive. I'm really curious though. That's really cool. I might see. I don't have mine build, but I want to build mine now. Okay, so it's just a straight up revive. So it's RB without the CR push. Okay, that's good to know. It's RB without the CR push. But that's really cool still. But this artifact is what really puts her kit together, right? So the big thing with this artifact is A, you're getting damage mitigation. That's awesome because that means you don't have to particularly pair her with a knight. B, if an ally is attacked when it is not the caster's turn, you have a chance to activate Dimensional Rupture, right? Dimensional Rupture is this skill. And when you have attack buff, you activate the skill again, right? So if you have an attack buff, you have an Elris passive that allows you to use this skill twice, right? If you have attack buff, of course. If not, it's just one time. But still, that's a lot of AoE damage. You're dispelling buffs. You're dispelling buffs. You're doing damage, and you have increased attack. You're doing the skill again, so you're stripping 2 buffs, right? From you just trying to hit her or her team, right? So it's almost like a fire rem. The only thing is that it does have the condition that it's once every 2 turns. That's how they balanced it. But still, it's really good. It's really, really... Like, I actually think she's actually viable now for PvP and PvE, right? For PvE, I don't know if she would actually use her own artifact. But Mercedes is stacked. It's actually kind of stacked, right? Because she has an S1 that does... Like, the thing about it is you could potentially even build her with lifesteal, right? The S1 hits 2 targets, gives her CR push, which means she's taking more turns. The S2 is amazing. By the way, it's only a 3-turn cooldown. It does a ton of damage. If you have attack buff, you're doing this skill twice. And then the S3 is just an AoE attack that gives her attack buff. And to the allies as well, right? So she has support and she does damage. She's very solid. She's actually really solid. She's actually really solid. Like, just looking at this, she seems pretty good. She seems fun, right? I don't know how meta she will be, but the fact that she has so many AoE skills makes her a decent counter to something like Stena, right? 15% chance to counter a little low, yes and no, right? Because the thing that's really interesting, which is why I think she actually might be a Stena counter, is that this does not count as a counter attack. This will trigger on Landy, and this should trigger on Stena. It should trigger on both of those, right? The same reason how Emo Kawasu can trigger on Landy, this artifact should trigger on something like Landy and something like Stena, because it's not a counter attack and it's not an extra skill. It's just activating a skill. It should. It should. I kind of want to test that. Does anyone have Mercedes build that has the artifact? I haven't cleared episode 3. If someone in the chat has it, I want to test it. I want to just try over and over again with Landy Stena and see if this skill will trigger. If one of y'all has it, let me know in the chat so we can test. It will take me some time to actually test it, but it should. You have her? Okay, let me make a room real quick because I want to see this. If you have her, I'm just gonna pick her and like a bunch of other units that are tanky. Just pick bulky units. I'm just gonna pick Stena and Just slap on some random. It does, right? Yeah, it should. It should. It should. We can try it in a room in a second. But it should, right? Which is, that's what makes her even scarier, right? Because it's like, we don't have many units that can do anything, like can interact with Landy. But this skill does interact with Landy, right? So if someone uses S3, just slap something there, and I just want to see it because that's crazy. But yeah, really good artifact, really good buffs, could potentially be a counter to Landy and Stene, which they need counters, right? They always need more checks, right? Especially Landy because she's a fire unit too. So it's definitely one of those units that I could be really, really good. I'm so curious on the damage. I am so curious on the damage as well, right? Granted, I know you just have ones like that's. I'll just do a Meru test. And then the password is 1112. I'll just put Stene and Landy and I won't do anything. I just want to do like S3s. Yeah, so as a whole though, really, really freaking good. Like the more I look at her, the more I'm like, wow, this unit has the potential to just be incredible. Right? So Mercedes, I'm very happy that they're making all the units you get for free good. Right? At least usable. Right? At the worst, she's still an incredibly good PvE good unit. But at best, she's actually a really solid unit, right? So at worst, she's a solid PvE unit. At best, she's a meta PvP unit because all her skills are 3-turn cooldown, right? This is a 3-turn cooldown skill that gives her attack buff, right? So there's only 1 turn downtime where you don't have attack buff. And this skill is 3-turn cooldown, right? So you could essentially start S3, S2, S1, and S3s back up, and you can just do the rotation again, right? Over and over and over and over again. Yeah, just pick tanks to protect her so she can survive. And I'm gonna be picking Amelia just so I can cycle a little bit better. So I'll put Amelia and Oxlots just so I can cycle units faster. So okay, let me see. Oh, let me not ban May. Let me just ban something random. She's too hot to be weak. And we'll talk about a second about the art because I know some people are upset about that. But let me pick Stene, right? Because that's the one I wanted to test. Stene and Landy. I want to see if this will trigger on them, right? So there's the Stene. I'll put Landy. And we'll put cycling units. Just so we can actually cycle her skills. We'll put her in. And we'll put Amelia. And then the last one I'll put for a ban. And I'll just ban like whatever DPS. Okay. I'm so curious because if this, oh man, the art looks really cute actually. Alright, I want to see this. It should trigger on Landy's S3 though. Or on Stene's S1. If it triggers on one, it'll trigger on the other. Right? Because they're the ones that have the anti. The art is a nerf. Yeah, that's what some people are saying, that the art is terrible. So let's see it. Let's see how she cycles. Oh my god, how fast is your Cecilia? It's fine. You can just S1 or S1 actually, just so you don't provoke. Yeah, okay, there we go. So she does get, okay, so she does get immense power as a buff, which means Landy will get extra stacks from it, right? But that just gives her free stats. She gets free attack and she gets an RB passive. That's crazy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's not gonna be enough to do a double Landy tab. I want this to trigger because it's 15% chance, but it's an AoE attack, right? So it should trigger. It does! Oh, that's so nice. Okay, that's all I needed to see. Yeah, so it does trigger. It was right. It was true. That's awesome, by the way. And this is like, can you imagine this in an actual fight? And if she gets attack buff? Yeah, so it does trigger. I was pretty sure, but thank you for doing that test with me for that nice sanity check to make sure that I know my English. Yes, this character is incredible now. So that's awesome. We'll keep this room up in case we want to test something else later on. But yeah. Yes, she is a very good unit because AoE on every single skill, right? That's awesome. Damage mitigation on the artifact, can counter Landy, and can strip buffs with this skill. Every 2 turns, of course. So So I'm wondering if lifesteal is the best path, or if you still want to do something like counter set. Probably still lifesteal. And Mercedes not the only thing that's solid. Oh my goodness. The effect of blazing overhaul will be changed. So yeah, this one is it's a really good execute too. So yeah, I mean her stat line, she's a 4-star, right? So since she's a 4-star, she always has bad stats. But I'm so happy with the test. Now I can really like her. But yes, lifesteal and counter seem to be her best build path. I'm leaning towards lifesteal just because that makes her more annoying, especially if she triggers that skill twice. You're just healing so much, right? The other thing that people are complaining about, I don't have her, but this is her new art. So this is actually how she looks, right? This on the left is how they made her look afterwards. It's not a true specialty change, but it is a change, right? And some people say they like base skin Ameru more, but I kind of like the new one. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I actually really like the new Meru skin. I don't know why. I think she looks like, you know, more with a purpose. The old one looked a little too timid. But that would be my guess too. And she does get 15% attack boost though. You have to remember that she does get that extra 15% from her passive. And she gets self-attack buff, right? But yes, she goes from this to this. And I personally, I like this one more. I like this art more, but I know a lot of people like original Mercedes art. Yes, your Mercedes will change to look from this. She will look like this on the art, right? For when you pick her and everything. But it looks like in-game, she looks the exact same, right? So they went a little bit lazier with this route, but at least they got us an SE, right? So that's good. And yes, Mercedes has always been a good PvE unit. So this just solidifies her as a PvP unit, right? So yes. Super duper excited for that. She's actually a unit that I'm looking forward to building as well. The other one is going to be the artifact buffs. We already talked about these. Great change on the Celine one. Great change on this one. Warriors have terrible artifacts, right? They're carried so hard by Sigurd's side, right? And yeah, I could see the art is off. I just like the art style, but I could see that the art doesn't match everything else in Epic 7. That is true. The art is very a different direction than Epic 7, right? If I was building her, who does she share stats with? Does she share stats with ML Aura? No, because she's a 4-star. Her base stats are atrocious, right? Her base stats are actually due to water, right? That's just 4 stars being 4 stars. But I bet those people that fed these are upset now that they don't get to put it on her, right? Because some people fed it to the C mercs, right? Let me think. I would give her attack. I would make her tanky, right? I would make her something like this, right? Like if they share the same stats, as an example. Not a great example, but imagine if all this effectiveness went into crit damage, right? So if it was a 260 crit damage, 3k attack, dummy bulky with some speed, that's probably what I would go, right? And she does have a lot of self-attack boosting, right? From her self-imprint as well as from her actual passive. So you can actually focus really hard on the defensive stats and on crit damage. Of course, assume that this effectiveness goes to here. That's what I actually would do in mine. And I will probably make her lifesteal or counter set. I might give her my Rylet set down the line. If she's really good, I'll give her the Rylet set. Because I'm thinking of going back to a speed Rylet, and this Rylet set would be what I would be looking for her. Right, where she has high crit rate. I'd have to find immunity pieces though. But I would want something that's like high crit rate, high damage, you know, gets the job done. But yeah, she's really good. I'm really happy with her. Then the other part is we are getting the finale of episode 3. I know a lot of you guys don't care about storyline. I know some of you guys love the storyline. I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna run to it. I still have to do the side story, which goes away in 4 days. So yeah, that part's not great. But we are officially ending the episode 5 storyline. So for episode 3, my bad. Hold up, I just got a text I need to reply to real quick. Okay. But yes, we're officially concluding, which is, I'm really excited to look forward to it, but I have no idea how they're going to close all the storylines, right? Because there's, okay, like all the open ends for the storyline that they still have are like, we don't know what happened to Phantom CIC, right? Yeah, they got everyone back, but like the last time we saw Sez and Rin were traumatized, right? So we don't know what happened to Phantom CSC. Elna's storyline I heard already finished. I just haven't done it yet because it's one of the side stories. Where the hell is Landy? Right, the whole thing in Policia. Like, are we gonna see that society like with grandmother? Are we gonna see them again? Right? Are they gonna come back? With the Dragon War, is it over? Is it actually over? Like, it just ended like that just because they stopped Ilna? Like, really? Like, are the dragons gonna be okay with that? Right? Like, there's still a lot. There's still a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up, and I don't think they are, right? Which is very classic of Epic 7, for the episode to not close out all the storylines. They do that every single episode. We don't get completed storylines for every single time. I know Mort's storyline already ended, pretty much, but like some of them were like very anticlimactic. I mean, it's always like the things like the journey is better than the beginning. I think Epic 7 definitely did take it too hard, right? They definitely did take it too hard, the whole the journey's better than the ending, because honestly the hype for Mort was so high and he just died so like fast, or like he just like got defeated by Ross so quickly, right? I was just like, that's it? Really? That's it? I mean, it was deep, but I don't know, story wise that's cool. Some really cool stuff. We do get the other ring. Let's see if they actually made this one trash. Doesn't have any crit damage, which is not great, because the only units that this could go on a Stene. If you didn't want to go with the traditional Stene build, this could go on a Stene, but I don't see any other unit that could really use something like this, right? That would want crit damage set without crit damage. It's a little odd. So it's a little bit of an odd piece. And of course, the point system, that'll be really nice to work through. Mercedes buff, that's awesome. You can enforce it. Yeah, so you do get the artifact when you clear that. This is really cool. This is really cool. The buff effect, that's really nice. So really excited for that. Really like this artifact. I think it's a really cool artifact. But the one that more of you guys are probably, the vertical air Ravi, I still think she'll be too slow. I'm gonna have to try it out. But now to the part that you actually care about, the selective summons. We finally got confirmation on who's on the banner. And you do get the selective summon when you clear the storyline, right? And there are only a very small, limited pool of heroes that you can actually use for this, right? So we go down. You see it right here. It's gonna work exactly like it did when we first started Epic 7. Except the heroes that we get are different than what we could get before. They really limited it to only season... Well, it says season 2 of the past, but it says season 3, episode 3 only. Right? So these are the only units that you can actually get, right? So it's a pretty small list. As far as to like who you should try to really get, Flan, if you've ever considered cleaving, you're gonna want Flan. She's really good. Polides, if you already didn't pull for her, you want Polides. But the thing about it is like you don't know if it's gonna be like if you're gonna get what you're gonna get, right? So Polides is another one that if you're not guaranteed her, but it's one of the ones you should get if you don't already have her. Ida is not that great. Let's see. So Flan, Polides, Cecilia is good just because of the artifact, because of the imprints for Fallen Cecilia. If you've ever wanted to have a really good Fallen Cecilia, it's not a bad time to pick up Cecilia. So Flan and Polides are the two big ones that you're going to be shooting for. Mort is not a bad one to get. He looks like he's going to be decent. And of course, all the other ones. But yeah, kind of disappointing, right? It's a little disappointing that these are all the units. Chu is also a very good unit, but I'm just curious if people are even going to use Chu when Luna exists, right? Like, kind of does what Chu is supposed to do. But she's still cool. I mean, she's still a good unit. She functions well as a unit, right? She's not a bad unit. But the big ones are going to be Flan and Polides. All the other Season 5 units are like, they're okay. They're not great, right? Unless you're just filling up the journal, imprint-wise, Cecilia would be better, right? But yeah, that's it for that, like for the selection. I don't want to make a whole video on this because it's such a small list, dude. And like it's such a easy choice that you're either going for Flan or you're going for Polides, right? Or you're going for an imprint like Cecilia, or you're going for clearing your journal with like Chu or Valen, Mort, depending, or if you want a funner unit with Senya, Mort, Chu, right? So like, I mean, it's okay. I can't complain too much. It's a free selection, right? Select someone time limit, or will you be there once I finish episode 3? Jonathan, it will be there for as long as you need it. I don't think it's something that's a time limit. If they made it a time limit, that would be super like grimy of Smiley. I'm pretty sure you have all the time to think about it before you get there, so you should be fine. It's still not good. She is like right there, but no, it's the same problem that Charles has. She's too RNG, right? She's too RNG to the point where like you're relying on not only getting a counterattack, you're also relying on using your better counterattack skill, right? Whereas someone like Rem, you're only relying on the counterattack, so it's a lot less RNG than 2 layers, right? So something like Rem is good because she only has 1 layer of RNG. Something like Mercedes is good because, again, you're only relying on 1 layer of RNG. Whereas someone like Charles and Ilna, you're relying on 2 layers of RNG, where you A, have to counter, B, have to counter with the actual skill that you really want to counter with. That's it. That's honestly Ilna's only problem, is the inconsistency. Like, as a kit, her kit makes so much sense. Her damage is really good, right? And her buff S3 is really nice too, like giving the crit damage buff. But she's way too inconsistent, so she just ends up sitting there doing nothing, right? That's the problem with Ilna, right? With Alencia, it's just, again, not a bad unit. Solid bruiser. The kit is fine. It's just other things in the meta are faster. I could go through each of them and tell you guys the weaknesses or strengths. Chu, overall, really solid water bruiser. Honestly, there's nothing really bad to say about her, except that you have to, again, it's like Charles and Ilna, but she actually has enough support to warrant a slot on your team. And if you do get the S1 into S2 combo, it does a really good amount of damage. Or you can just not even go for the RNG and just go for someone that gives you immunity, right? So Chu is actually a very solid water bruiser. Definitely a nice unit to pick up. Ervalin is only really good for PvE. For PvP, he can work for Guild Wars. If you really like your Ervalin, you can actually make him work for Guild Wars, especially against RB style teams, and you kind of can cleave with him. But for the most part, PvE unit that has replacements, right? Flan, one of the best cleave units. If you're a cleaver, you want to get Flan. That's a no-brainer. If you've ever thought about cleaving, you want to get Flan, right? So if you want to cleave, or you've thought about cleaving, you want to get Flan. A little bit more of like a gamble. I would say if you really want more, I would wait to see how he turns out to be. Has potential as a bruiser though, right? Just because of the fact that he can actually function, right? He can actually be a support, right? So he's more of an earth support style knight than he was before as a DPS, like that people want him to be a DPS. He's not really a DPS. He's more of a support knight that can do damage. That's how you have to look at him, and you'll start like coming to terms with what he actually does. Polides, same thing as Flan. If you don't have Polides, this is the unit you're probably trying to go for if you can, because this unit is becoming the counter to everything in this game. And yes, TJ, the units this season were not that great, right? Ida, I can't justify pulling for her when there's just strictly better options than her in the form of F10, right? And we're getting the like Angie. There's just no reason to put your Ida unless you really like the design. Again, not a bad unit, just doesn't do anything. Like, doesn't do much for your team and takes up the slot of another supporter like a Flan in Cleave or in control of F10, right? Like, in either team that she's supposed to go in, she's taking up the slot of a unit that does her job up better, right? So that's a problem with Ida. Senya, such a fun unit. I really want to make my Senya be like an amazing Senya. Her problem, she's a little too slow and a little too conditional. That's it. It's just one of those things that like the reflect damage is not strong enough to make you scared, and it's not reliable enough to make you worried, right? So she ends up being a unit that is just kind of a meat shield that just kind of sits there and doesn't really do much, right? That's the only problem with Senya. If they made it so like the reflect damage was consistent, she would be a significantly better unit. Michael, I'm talking all around. The only PvE units that are here are Ervalin is really good for PvE. Yufin can work for PvE, and Bomb Model Kana is really good for certain PvE. Right? All the other units are very PvP focused. Right? So usually both, but I do like to give more of a benefit to the PvP. But Michael, to answer your question, not a lot of these units are PvE focused, right? The only units that are PvE focused, as I mentioned, were Ervalin, because he does a lot of damage to bosses, right? I do have to respect how much damage he actually can do to a boss, right? The other one would be Yufin. Again, same reason as Ervalin, although there's better options. You're better off using Sid, unless you're doing a one-shot type of team. And then and Bomb Monokana, right? All these other ones are made for PvP content, right? You can use Shu for Labyrinth, though, if you really want to, because she does do a lot of damage. Flan can work for one-shot Wyvern. One Pleiades can't. Ida can't. Senya can't. Senya can be a good frontliner for Water Expo, just because she's a knight, right? And she can reflect a little bit of damage. That's about all she does, though. Ilnav is all PvP. Cecilia, yeah, all PvP. Good function at PvE, but not great. There's probably better options. So yeah, most of these are PvP focused. Most of them. But yeah, Senya's a really fun unit. Senya's a unit that's really, really fun to play with. Really fun in arena, and like a seaside Senya team. It's actually really funny watching the enemy team dying, hitting your Senya. But yes. Yes, Ervalin can work as a 10 killer in PvP. Yes, in Guild Wars, primarily. Maybe in arena. The only reason I don't say RTA, unless you're having fun, the higher you go up in RTA, you're never going to get a team where Ervalin will be able to function at max potential, right? That's the big problem with a lot of these units. That in RTA, if you look at the meta, all these units either are units that are win button if you're supported properly, or they are extremely self-reliant, right? And most big units right now are extremely self-reliant, right? Like, they do their things on their own, right? Like, think Violet. He does the dodging, he does the damage all on his own. Landy does all the damage, all the supporting all on her own. Stana does all the damage. Does need a little bit of support, right? So she doesn't get blown up. But if you give her that little bit of support, she like blows up the enemy team. Cross is a self-reliant unit. She doesn't rely on a team to function. Who else? I could keep going. Crimson Ramen is the only like really big team reliant unit. But for the most part, most RTA units are self-reliant units. That's why things like Spes. Oh, Rem is a self-reliant unit as well. Carrot, a self-reliant unit. Like Rem counters on her own, does damage on her own, cleanses herself on her own, right? It's nice to give her an attack buffer, right? That just pushes them to the next level, but she's a self-reliant unit, right? You don't necessarily need a team built around her for her to work. She's just a good unit to have, right? So whenever you think of RTA heroes, a good way to know if they'll be good or bad is, are they highly dependent on a team? If the answer is yes, this unit is highly dependent on a team, their chance of success in RTA goes down. I'm not saying it's impossible, right? Because there's definitely been times where like think of Cleave, right? Like there's Cleave units that fully need a Cleave team to function, right? But the more self-reliant that a unit is, the better they are for RTA. But for things that's how units become meta, right? That's the reason why Samurai Seria is like really good at what she can do in arena and guild wars, but is having a really rough time in RTA, right? That's the main problem with her. It's not because her kit is bad. She's incredible in arena and she's incredible in guild wars with the right team, but she's not a self-sufficient unit. So you drafting her into RTA means you have to draft a stripper or two, probably two, right? You need at least two strippers with her, or she gets shut down, right? And then she's a -1. And then if you draft two strippers, they can just ban her, and then you lose the full combo, and you're just left with two strippers that are not doing too much for your team, right? So that's the reason why non-self-reliant units don't do as good in RTA, and that's the reason why Samurai Seria feels weak. But that does not mean that they are bad, right? Again, if you get the right team in RTA, you will win with Samurai Seria, right? If they let you have your team, you're gonna do really good with Samurai Seria in RTA. You're gonna just win, right? But again, just because of how the dynamic works, it's really hard to mask a team and be able to get the right setup without your setup getting banned. It's the same reason why Spaz doesn't work that well for RTA. Not that Sez is bad, it's that he requires too much setup. But then again, going back to this, if you do clear this, Flan, Pleiades are the main ones you're looking at. Mort, Chu, and maybe Alencia are the other ones that are like decent options. Senya, Ilnav, Ervalin are all for fun, basically. And Cecilia is mostly, if you don't have her, she's a really good unit. But if you're getting her, she's also a really good FCC imprint. But she's not a bad unit. Again, it's just she's not self-reliant like some other of the knights are, right? That's that for that. As far as a 4-star, I think it's every single 4-star on the planet, right? I don't think they like took any one of these out. The 5-star artifacts kind of suck though. 2. The only good one is like Rise of Monarchs. Let me see. Merciless Glutam's not bad. But I think you're only guaranteed one 5-star thing. Right? Like, I think you're only guaranteed one of these or one of those. And yeah, good, because I have to leave early. That's the thing. That's the reason why I'm streaming early today. But yeah. This, I haven't finished the story, but I'm kind of hyped for it because, like, we go back to season 2, and I love Cerise and, like, all the other people. I kind of want to see how Pavel is doing and how Cerise is going. So I have to finish this one, but it looks really fun. I mean, I'm a big fan of those side stories. They're, like, nice and cute. This one I haven't been keeping up with. It was a pretty good start, but it got kind of grindy, and I just haven't had the time to actually grind through it. Some people don't like it too much. I haven't done enough to say anything about the story, but we are getting the last portion of it. So that part's nice. More tournaments. I love that they put the art finally. This is the best part of the event is this, by the way. The best part of this event was the art that we got from it. Right? It just makes me want to get a Clarissa skin more. It makes me want to get an Alexa skin. It makes me want to get a Sermia skin. And I know we're not getting any of them anytime soon. So that sucks. And in exchange, they just basically doubled down on it. Alancia's Wrath. That video should be coming out. But next is Abyss 120. Let's actually look at the rewards in game, right? But yes, it expanded. I haven't done it yet because I still haven't done Abyss 110 because I was just so mentally done after I climbed from 100 to 110 that I was just like, I just don't want to do 110. I was just like, it's too toxic. But I heard 110 is not bad, so I should be able to clear if I clear all the other ones. They are also modifying the exact stages that I told you guys on stream. I told you guys that we're going to nerf floor 100 to 110. They nerfed the exact floors that I called out on stream. 109, 105, and 102. Those were the 3 stages that just felt miserable to go through. Because 109 is a DPS RNG check. 105, I honestly didn't mind, but a lot of people did mind because it was like, again, T-Cern or bust, pretty much. T-Cern or Arby or bust, right? Or you can't frontline. And then 102 was legit, I hope I land poisons. So I'm glad that they're modifying those stages, or they already did. I don't know how they modified them, but I'm glad they modified those. And as far as the new stages and rewards, some of the rewards actually look really awesome. Let's actually go down and look at some of the rewards. So the final reward, as usual, I can't see it too well here, but you're getting the 15 stones. Let me actually expand this so I can actually see it better. So as usual for Abyss, you are getting transit stones at the last stage, 15. Pretty standard, they always do that. And of course the frame, kind of a new thing. Unknown Slate, this is a new one, which I actually am a big fan of because I think that I want them to have more slates because imprints are pretty important, right? Imprints make a big difference for certain units where they go from being like A tier to S tier. Like think Rylet. Rylet without imprints, it's just not this, you're not playing with the same unit. If your Rylet is not imprinted, you're playing with a nerfed version of your Rylet, right? Because you're missing so many stats. Then we have the rings. And the stats they gave these are so juicy, dude. Starting 5 speed, max HP roll, max crit roll, max crit damage roll on an attack percentage ring. At worst, assuming you don't low roll, right? Because there's always low rolls. Assuming you don't low roll, at worst, this is an amazing bruiser piece. At best, it's an amazing DPS piece, right? So it's really like, oh, that ring is gorgeous. The neck, oh, dude, this is nuts for bruisers. This is the perfect neck for bruisers, except the defense, right? But besides that, that's like a gorgeous neck, right? At worst, if it rolls into all of the stats, amazing bruiser piece. At best, it all rolls into speed, and you get like a dummy fast speed piece. They can just sub out the health. That's amazing. The boots are speed. These are probably like the worst ones just because they have effectiveness on them. But again, at worst, it's a really good control unit piece. At best, is a really good bruiser piece, and you can just sub out the effectiveness, right? So again, it's not bad, right? You can just sub it out. The powders, this is actually really nice. I'm kind of sad they don't give you enough powders to actually buy something off the shop. But I mean, I can't complain. 150 is a lot of powders. That's almost a 5-star artifact, right? It's essentially a pick your own 5-star artifact as long as it's in the shop type deal, almost. And the Temple Agora, that's actually the really big one. The chest, I don't like the Efres. I don't like the Efres. I feel like I'm gonna roll all of them into Efres. It's gonna like low roll all their stats, and it's gonna high roll into Efres or something like that. But then again, if it dodges crit hit chance, this could be a really good Soul Weaver piece, right? Like if it just goes all into FRES, all into speed, and all into health, it's an amazing Soul Weaver piece, and you can just sub out the crit rate. But if it like goes into all the stats equally, it's kind of Helmet is a little weird. I don't like that it has effectiveness. But the speed is nice, right? Speed is awesome. See the sword. Again, why with the effectiveness? I don't know why they hate crit damage on these sets. It's like they have something against the crit damages. I think the Raid Sword already starts with better stats than this. So the Raid Sword's already better than the Speed Sword, so this sword is nothing crazy. How do I swap out a set? I'll show you in a second. Why hello there. This one is really nice as well. So, and then of course this one's no frame for this one. But overall, yeah, Abyss is coming back. But why hello there? Let me actually just show you that. I actually just realized that. Oh, I see why my music stopped. A little late, but it's fine. So as far as the whatchamacallit, how would you do that? So you have this thing called expeditions that you want to do as soon as possible. When you clear an expedition, let me clear right now and see if I get one of them. So when you clear an expedition, you get these stones that give you a set and a substat change stone. And these are greater effectiveness modification stones. So this is where you would get most of them. Sometimes they also do the advent side story. We haven't gotten a second one, but we did get one of them. But again, for this one, it's a really good one, right? Because I got a counter set attack, right? So what you would do is after you get these pieces, right? You would go to your gear, right? Let's say I'm modifying a unit. You could go in and you can modify the unit. If you want to learn more about this, I did make a full gear video that has like everything you need to know about gear, and it's like split up into sections. So I would recommend watching that if it still doesn't make sense to you. And I do go over the process in detail as well there. And essentially you just go here, and let's say I want to I already modded this one for crit rate. Let's say I wanted to mod it back to something else. I could click on the stone and it would change it to the desired stat. But you lose some value, right? So it's not just a straight 1-to-1, you do lose some value. And the more you roll on it, the more value that you lose. Armor Paris, I have not yet, but I really want to. Hey, what's up, Jesus? Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah. Pavel or Keys is an initiator. Depends on what your team you're running. If you're running a cleave team, Pavel is just really good. If you are not running cleave, Keys is a really good counter to certain units, right? So that's the idea. And I have not cleared it yet. I should have cleared it. I'll save. How about this? I will clear the storyline before next stream, and I will do the selective summons with you guys on stream next time. Next time that I stream, I will do the selective summons with you guys. So by the next time we see each other again, which I don't know where it will be, most likely gonna be next Tuesday or maybe even later. So I will do the selective. I will hold off my gacha addiction till, let's say, until this banner. I'll do it with all the other summonings. Super long gear, guys, when I'm looking for just one tiny bit of information. That makes sense. So, but that's why I showed it to you, because it doesn't cost me anything to actually just show that to you. But if you did have more questions, I did have, like, there's a really nice video. But yes. So I usually try to answer all answers on stream. Final fight was not fun. I heard it was like you can't do anything AoE. But I will save until this banner, and we'll do our selective summons as well as our mystic banner, and we'll see what we can do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna save. Okay, the thing about it, dude, this banner sucks, dude. This banner sucks. This artifact is like no one really uses it. No one uses this hero. I'm sorry, but just no one does, right? It's not that he's just, even if you get the condition, the damage is not enough most of the time. Fierce is actually fine. Arcades is fine. These are whatever. Caldra's nice. Gauntlet is nice. And the Thesis are okay. Right? But everything, like the 5-star is not great, dude. I'm probably gonna wait one more week. But man, I really, this is the next thing we're gonna talk about, I'm pretty sure, because I think we finished the update stuff. Right? So let's just make sure we finish the update stuff. Oh! We did get an increase, the gear storage. I still don't know how I feel about this one. I probably will never use it. I probably will never use it. I will forget that it existed. If I use this storage, I will probably forget that it existed. So I'm just gonna have better gear management. There's zero reason for me to do this. Oh, did I grab? I already did. I already did grab the episode 2. So if you didn't know, you get the summon right here that lets you summon for an episode 2 hero for $10. You get a guaranteed artifact and a guaranteed hero. Like, unit per dollar, it's the best you're gonna get. It's the best you're gonna get. Do I think they will release the new MO 5-star? Yes. Yes. Which is why we're gonna talk about it in a second. But yes, I think they will. It is always nice to have more storage. Tongue, Whitey's Ludwig does hit very hard. I fought Whitey's Ludwig. You can still use Ludwig for Guild Wars. I mean, it's just like, man, if you look at Whitey's gear and you're like, wow, if this gear was like on any other unit, it would do like 10 times more damage. But I mean, it works really well for him. So like, there's no reason for him not to use it, right? But he has the gear, he has the units for it, he has the support. So that's why he has a lot of success using it. Which is, I mean, most units in this game are very generous, but aside from YD, I don't think anyone else uses him. I knew someone who tried and had mild success, and he stopped using it, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why I ever did that. It was holding me back, right? So it just kind of sucks that he's in that spot. But maybe we'll get a ML1 one day. But all right, let me go back to the updates. I think that was all of them. The equipment storage was nice. That was a really nice quality of life change. And we are getting the victory adjustment. There's... Do we already get this? Oh. Wait, no. Does it come out on the 16th? We'll keep... This is supposed to be tomorrow's video, by the way. I already recorded it. Will be adjusted. What? They're going back and giving us the points? Wait. What? Well, that's gonna be interesting. That's cool that they're changing it, though. Wow. I did not think that they were gonna go back and give us points back. That's huge. I'm gonna have to remake that video for tomorrow. I thought I was done. I'm gonna have to just remake it. I did not think they were gonna fix A this fast or go back and give us points. That's crazy. Because like right now, with this win rate, I should be somewhere in champion right now. But the thing about it, it's like, how high? Because it also depends on quality of wins and losses. How are they going to do that? I do have both videos. But that's crazy. That's going to be crazy. That's going to just change everything. For all we know, I could be Emperor right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I could be Emperor right now and I just wouldn't know it. At 140 games with that positive win rate, this could be enough for Emperor. Even though because it's just quality of wins and losses that matters. Especially because I played a lot more early on rather than later. That'll be super interesting. I thought there was gonna be like sucks to suck, right? Which is fine. But this is... Wow. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Compensation. They might do a raw adjustment. Sub rank? I don't know. What my guess is what they're gonna do is they're gonna do like a flat number. Like they will do like because the wins is not changing, right? So they'll say, okay, they lost 70 times and they lost X amount of points. They probably have a running record of that. Okay, they lost this much. This is the point difference. Let's give those points back to him. So people with higher win rates should still be higher than I am. But if I have way more games than them, I might actually rank up way higher. You're just going to have a larger raw number of games than a lot of people right now. Wow. That's something, for sure. That is something. That is definitely something. So. Alright. As far as the other ones, let's see. Other improvement adjustments. This pack was pretty cool. This pack unlocks as soon as the one per account. You just get a 3. How much does this cost? This one was cool. This one was $10. This one I think was $50, which is ridiculous. This is not worth $50. Do not buy this. I will tell you guys this right now. This pack was $50. Do not buy this. This item, maybe $20. Maybe $20. It does not give you awakenings. All it does is like give you dogs, which is like, that's super easily farmable, right? Do not buy this pack. It's a scam. They're trying to get your money. This one is a good pack, even though you're going to get an episode 2 one. And this one, I don't know what the pricing is. But assuming it's anything more than like $5, it's a scam. This is just a 5-star. Right? Whereas right here, it's $10 for a 5-star and a 5-star artifact, as well as 8 other pools. So, yeah. Nice. And of course, what is an update stream without looking at the stuff comments? Man, there's always people hating on stuff on Stove. Honestly, I feel so bad for Snogget that they have to read this all the time. Nice. Nice. That's cool. It's per episode 3 5-star pack. What? It's a $30? Oh, that's a scam. Yeah, that's a scam. That's a scam. Yeah, thanks for letting me know that's actually a scam. Don't buy that. It's not worth it. The other one, that one was worth. That one was a really well priced pack. I would honestly say that was a little too good priced. Like the one that was right here that they showed, it's legit $10 for 10 summons that guarantee you 1 5-star unit and 1 5-star artifact. That's huge. For $10? That's like the most value you're gonna get. Like per summon, I guess the only thing that's more value is like the monthly pack. But the monthly pack doesn't guarantee you a 5-star, right? So it's a really good deal, right? So yeah. Yes, the leaf pack is kind of mad this time too. That's the other one. I still am probably gonna buy it because it is going for donation. Let me actually look at the pack. The first time they did this, it was really good. So I'm curious why they made it so bad this time. Like last time, it was like leaves, and you also got like 500 crystals. Right? Let me actually look it up. I'm kind of curious to see if they nerfed it or not. Oh, they didn't nerf it. It's the same. Okay, it is the same. Never mind. I'm capping. It's exact same. So they did this one before. For the leaves, it's really nice though. So it is the exact same thing, right? Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Not bad. This is still a lot of leaves, so it's still not bad, and you're helping someone, so that's really cool. I also really like this bear. Really, it kind of reminds me of me, Loki. Wait, this is like my spirit pet, man. Wait, this is actually like, this is me. It's got the glasses. It's got that derpy looking face. This is actually, okay, I'm actually gonna buy it just because of like A, it goes to like research, I don't know, or like to donations, which is cool. I'd love to see what it goes to though. But I also really like this pet. Really, really big fan of it. But yeah, it was always meh. But the leaves are, I mean, it's nice for what you're getting and for your donating, and also for the flex frame. It's still my face for a pet, true. I really like that pet. It's like my spirit animal. It's like it has a little lap like researcher coat. Oh, that's so cute. That's actually beautiful. Okay, let me see if I have not missed anything else as far as updates that you guys should need to know about. Let me see. It should be here. Select the summon. We talked about the drop rate ups. They're doing a lot of season 2 later on, like next week. Which thankfully we finally have a rest week. We haven't had a rest weeks in a while. I'm kind of excited to not summon for some time. It's been a little bit too much of a roller coaster. All right, next one is this banner. So we talked about the big updates. How do I get the Mercedes artifact kernel? You have to clear story. You have to clear episode 3, chapter 1010. You have to clear the storyline to the most recent chapter. And you also get the Mercedes buff then. So yes, it is very far. If you're an early game player, you're not going to be seeing this anytime soon. Right? If you just started the game, you're not going to see... Like, episode 2, it's kind of hard. And episode 3, I would say it would actually take like 3 to 4 months for an earlier game player. It's going to take a really long time for some players to get there. Right? Because it's not easy. Right? For someone that's played for a long time like myself, I just breezed through it. And a lot of people have breezed through it. But I already know that 310 is also a very hard boss too. Right? Apparently you have to do like single target damage dealers and you're fine. Yeah, early game player, you're not going to see it for at least a month or 2. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to see it for at least a month or 2. It takes a long time to get there. But you have other stuff to look forward to, right? So it's not too bad, but it will take some time. Probably by the time that you're getting... Once you can clear harder abyss stages, you'll know you're ready. If you can clear hard raid consistently, then you're ready for adventure. So that's what I would say. It's if you can clear all the hard raids effectively, you should have no problem beating the adventure bosses. Because you should, by that point, you should already have a good understanding of how boss mechanics work, and you should understand kind of like what units to use. There's a lot of other content that's harder for you to clear first, and you'll get experience and you'll build units. They're gonna indirectly help you clear that episode 3. So yes, that is very far away for you guys. Yeah, for early game players. That's not something you're gonna be seeing anytime soon. But okay, now as far as the next banner for next week, Light Angelica. I'm actually gonna turn on my volume for this one because I really want to hear her voice lines. It's a story with Strauss to consider episode 2. Yes. Yes. Episode 1 is Archdemon. Episode 1 extra story is still Archdemon. Episode 2, but they do a lot of setup to Strauss. Episode 2 is Strauss. Episode 3 is the continent of Eurasia with Polides. Not Polides, with Belian being like the potential baddie. Alright, let me turn the volume up because I'm really curious on this girl's voice quotes. And I have not actually sat down and actually heard them. So let me actually turn on my volume for the game. I think that's it. Okay, so it's not that. Do I have it here? It's gonna close down. Oh, it's not.
Well, I'm left with no choice.
Man, she sounds like Angelica, but more serious. Oh, y'all can't hear the sound? Wait, hold up. Y'all should be able to hear it soon. It's Angelica voice line, or the same voice actors as Angelica and Simple Angelica. But she sounds like her S1, she sounds very serious Angelica.
Well, I'm left with no choice.
Man, the animations are... I really like how she's not holding a staff.
The door will remain closed. At least to you it will.
That's the Singelica voice quote.
Careful.
Or the voice line, not the voice quote.
I will deliver unto you your salvation.
Okay, pretty cool.
Well,
I like it.
Left with no choice.
I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. She sounds cool. She sounds cool. I'm really excited for her banner, even though I'm probably not gonna get her. She sounds cool, but now let's talk about actual playability. So it is. So if y'all didn't know, I haven't done the storyline, so I don't know the setup. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if y'all didn't know, Simple Angelica and Angelica were one entity at some point, and I'm pretty sure that this is that entity that they were before, right? So now let's actually. This is Angelica though, right? It's just like young-looking, serious-sounding Angelica. But as far as her kit, we've talked about it before, and I've had more time to think about it. And I've had more time to be like, wow, this unit's going to be really nice. Right? So first, the S1. It's already such a good S1. Right? It's just a straight up silence that decreases combat ranges if you land the silence. So if I do this, you push someone back 25%.
Stand down.
Oh, no, Colonel Joseph. The Angelica potentially being the entity, that's something we've known. Right? That's a storyline that already happened. I don't know about this current side story and what she actually is, but I don't know afterwards. So that's one. Really, really awesome. Really, really solid. Nice little silence. That's two. This alone would be enough to make a character, but they put it on a character that actually already has a functioning kit. Right, so first, immune to stun, because why not? I think it's Smilegate just threw this one in there when they were coming up with their idea. They're just like, you know what? Let's make her immune to stun. The only thing this does is put up a middle finger at Cerise. That's the only reason for this, right? Because the only unit that can threaten her speed and her initiation is Cerise, right? And that's it. That's the only realistic reason why I see this stun on here, right? Because she's still susceptible to F Glory and all these other things. Stand at 2, yeah, stand at 2, right? I didn't think about that. Although, granted, at that point, yeah, if you get stripped by Cerise and then Stena, yeah, not bad. It'll come in handy, right? Someone will lose a game because they'll try to stun you somehow. The other part is this other passive where if an ally except for the caster is attacked, you get free CR push. Free. So if they do an AoE skill, that means they're hitting your allies 3 times, which means you're getting a 24% CR push for free. You're not doing anything for this. You get it for free. That's awesome. When you get an attack that targets all allies, you have a 100% chance to activate a skill that dispels 1 debuff and grants you AoE skill null. You know Basar? When Basar does S3, he'll push everyone back, and she'll cleanse the unbuffable and give your team the other one. Yes, she's countered by Polides because of this, which again is why you will hear me say until my tongue falls out, Polides is one of the units you want to pick up somehow. And Colonel, I was a big fan of Ravi, although this season's a little bit rougher for Ravi. But yes, this Polides will destroy because it acts as a non-attack skill. Same with the S3. Both these skills are non-attack skills. So if you're cleaving, Polides is a must-have. Although if they ban your Polides, you're screwed, right? So just know that Polides does hurt her a lot because you stop the CR pushing. You're hitting them, and then you're applying unbuffable and a lot of other debuffs. So it's really nice there. But this skill is so annoying. And then there's the S3, which this is arguably the best control skill in the game. I don't think there's any other control unit that has a skill that even comes close to how good this one is. Why is this one so good? Well, first, it strips 2 buffs instead of just 1. 2, it does silence and unbuffable. And 3, it doesn't hit the target, which means that there is no evading, there's no cheesing, there's no glancing hitting her. You are getting hit by this skill no matter what you do. Champion Serrato's getting hit and not countering. Emerald Ken's getting hit and not countering. 4 turn cooldown when you Molagora it. 4 turn cooldown, and she's gonna be moving very fast because she gets CR push for free, right? So most likely what ends up happening is she puts massive early game pressure with this S3 because you essentially just take away an opponent's turn. And then the opponent is forced to kill her over your team because if they don't focus her down, she is supporting with the skill modifier and she's cycling. And she's silencing, right? So it's a unit that puts initial early game pressure and forces response on the afterwards, right? She is arguably going to be very, very good. Very, very, very good. So she will most likely be meta defining. Now on to the problems and kind of to some suggestions for you guys that are thinking of pulling her. So as you guys see, I am very close to Pity, right? And she is a 4-star. You are not guaranteed to get this unit. As good as she is, as amazing as she is, and as meta defining I think she is, you are not guaranteed to get this unit. You could drop $10,000 in this game, and if Epic 7 decides to screw you over, you will not pull this unit, right? The other thing is, if you're someone that is close to pity, you give up your pity for the chance of getting hurt. So that's a very hard situation, and the pity that you're getting is Spes. Now, how is Spes? Ooh, that's a hard question. I've actually used Spes a lot in the past. I actually do have my Spes built, and I do plan to improve them and showcase them when it gets closer. Because I am sure once the banner comes out and you guys will really want Spes, I will showcase my Spes with multiple builds. I have every support unit for Spes, so I will make a stream or a video. I don't know. I haven't decided which one yet, but I almost have him maxed out, and I have the gear sets to like throw on him if I need to. So I will make several showcases of him in a variety of teams, but I have every single support unit you could possibly put on Spes. I have ML Aura. I have a Tywin, right? I have her, I have him, I have Sage Ball, I have Cerise. You know, I have all the support units for Specimen Sez. And even then, it's usually not enough for RTA. And yes, they definitely did it. Is he saying Spes when his name is Sez? Specimen Sez, it's the Spes. Yeah. Yeah. That's how usually you like shorten the name. Because saying Specimen Sez every single time will take a very long time. So that's what he says, Spes. So Spes suffers from the same problem that Bomb Iceria does, right? He is a unit that is dependent on his team to work well, right? He can work on his own, just like Samurai Sarah can work on his own, but he's significantly worse, right? In Arena, in a controlled environment, he does really good. He can theoretically one-shot any unit in this game and extinct them, which is really nice every turn. The problem is they have to be stunned, right? And with needing that stun, it inherently makes you less reliable, because now you have to make sure that A, they're stunned, and B, that you have the right turn order to execute, and that you don't get 15% for the stun either, right? So him and Mort and Sarah can actually work well in Arena, but in RTA, it's just, you're never going to get the perfect scenario for your Spes, which means that your damage output will be much lower with this unit. Yes, and then you get 15% on a stun, right? So it's really hard to use him. He has a very high skill, so it's a unit that has a high skill ceiling with like medium reward. It's not high reward. Very risky, high skill ceiling, low reward unit. It's the reason why a lot of people don't use her. And yes, Mercer's a very good unit. She's arguably one of the best 3-star units. I can use Armentia and Spes, but the problem is that in RTA, you're not getting those two together. You're just not, right? You're getting one or the other, right, in RTA. And they both function okay without the other, but they just go from being like A, S tier when they're together to being like B, C when they're alone, right? So he's not a bad unit. I'm not gonna say he's bad. He's just very hard to use, very team reliant, very high skill cap, and you're only getting to one-shot a unit, assuming you land a stun, so you're still running RNG, right? So it's a lot of problems that make him not as scary, as well as the fact that he gets blown up by his stat line. Pretty sure in RTA, yes, that does mean that he's bad. In TLDR and RTA, he's not good because of that. In Arena and Guild Wars, in a more controlled environment, he is okay because he can actually make it. So yes, they paired her with him. So if you're someone that's close to pity, you are taking a massive gamble, or you're just straight up missing out on this unit, or you're sacrificing your pity, right? So Smilegate 100% did this on purpose, because Moonlight Charles probably didn't sell too well, right? Not a lot of people pulled for him. Meteor Kawaric didn't sell too well. So Smilegate was like, a lot of people must be on pity after Strasse, right? Or starting to, right? After around after Strasse, right? Let's actually try to get some pities for the people that waited, and then release a really cool 5-star unit, right? So Man, it's one of those things that if you're someone that it's like at 200 away from pity, oh yeah, no brainer. Pull on her banner. 100%. Right? The odds of you pulling Moonlight 5 are so low and you're so far from pity, you don't really lose anything. Right? But the other thing I will suggest is, as BK mentioned, you wait until 1 week. Right? So why should you wait until 1 week? First, this banner is kind of trash. Like, this banner is pretty bad. Right? This Mystic banner is not one of the better ones. So you wait 1 more week, you get to see what's afterwards, and you also get to see the new 5-star ML hero, which is what I'm going to be doing. Right? So that's the big thing, right? And we know that the one after this will be a new unit, and we know after that it will be Judge Kisa rerun, right? So mostly you're looking at potentially sacrificing the next ML 5-star, right? So if you're really worried on who the next ML 5-star is going to be, wait at least 1 week and decide from there. But I can tell you that most likely this unit is going to be a meta unit in every single PvP content, whether it's Guild Wars, Arena, or RTA. Arena, because she's able to just deny cleave and it forces people into Polides. And if you're forcing your opponent to bring Polides into you, you are giving yourself a pretty good you're putting the opponent in a situation where you can predict what they're trying to do, right? So S1 is really good and S3 is incredible. S2 functions like an F10, right? And F10 right now is still seeing a lot of play as a last pick unit, right? So the fact that this skill is stronger to an extent than F10 as S3, because it can't miss, makes it so she will at worst be used there. And she's also a really reliable cleave counter, right? ML Charles, if you're not a cleaver, it's not the best option. That's if you want the short answer, he can work for cleave. He can definitely open up some cleave drafts. I've definitely seen people have really good success with him, right? But it's one of those things that, like, if you're not cleaving, he's not worth it. And if you are cleaving, at that point, you probably know a little bit more about cleave than me, because I just know enough to counter cleave. I don't know enough to actually build one, right? I just know that right now, cleave mostly cleaves with Pavel and Polides. But I'm pretty sure Bellion is going to be next. But what are y'all talking about for the other one? SR Maintenance Spec does work pretty well. Same reason I put it with light and you can't put a good... That's true. Let me see what y'all are saying. To 6-star, bro, it's such a long process. Colonel, it's probably right now because you're an early game player. But I could make a 6-star in a couple of minutes. But yes, I think ML Charles is not a bad unit, right? I don't think he's bad at all. I just think he's a cleaver line unit. So it's a really good cleave unit. I've only fought ML Charles twice, and both times he clapped me. Right? So I have a 0% win rate against this guy because he's a cleave unit and he works really well. But it's a good unit, right? Like, he's not bad for cleavers. So if you're a cleaver, I would highly consider it, especially because, like, you're gonna be pulling for Angie regardless. But yeah, enjoy early game, man. If you were curious of why is the room so dark, because I haven't turned the lights on. But whatchamacallit? If you wanted to know how a late game players 6-star units in 2 seconds, it's because when you farm a lot, you get a lot of these. I can go here, and I can just go like, give me... I'll do it in a second because I don't want to mess it up. Alright, give me 10. Right? Boom, I got 10. Okay. And then I can, like, start up the next one. Right? And I can do that over and over again. I can do that for penguins too. And then I'm like, okay, I need fodder. Let me just use all these friendship points that I have saved up.
I have lots of good wares. Take
right?
your time.
So it's like, I can make a 6-star like this. The problem is Catalyst for me. Not 6-starring. And you also get a ton of XP by just playing the game. So you can actually make a 6-star very, very fast. That's how people do it really, really fast. The new change was what made it even easier. Because now you can farm for friendship as you farm for XP. But then and then this just made it so much faster as well. Bro, y'all are trolling me, bro. Y'all are trolling me. I know it's dark, but it's not that bad. Y'all gonna really make me want to turn on the lights. Let me actually turn off the lights. But yeah, you can make a 6-star very fast. Molagora, Molagora, to me, it's not the problem anymore. To me, the problem is Catalyst, dude. I actually hate Catalyst with a passion. If you look at all the units I don't use, it's because I didn't Catalyst them, and I don't want to farm the Catalyst for them. I actually hate Catalyst. Actually hate Catalyst. To peer pressure? No, it's just y'all try to spook me. I'm actually, fun fact, I'm actually very easily scared. I'm a very easily scared person. So, but okay, we do have a little bit of extra time because we covered all the updates. So, what buffed unit do you guys want to see? I really want to try a Ravi. I actually might just play her. And let me actually do something with Violet too, because I've been meaning to do this as well. Luna and Mort? Okay, let me actually build them. Hey, Ravi already has a functional build. I don't have Dami build, sadly. Mort? Okay, let me actually make Mort. Okay, let me try. Hey, Ravi and Mort. Okay, let me make Mort. Luna, let's make Mort and let's take it, because I don't know how long I have, right? I probably only have like 10 minutes left. Do you have a functioning set on you? You do not have a functioning set on you. This set is kind of tragic. At least he has the right artifact that I wanted on him. Let me change this set up real quick. It's just too low on the defense set. A little too squishy for my taste. Honestly, this was the build I was going to go for him, though. Okay, here's where we can get you more bulk. Right. What do we steal? I steal from you. Wait, I have to keep this set. Yeah, I have to keep this set because of crit. This should work fine. This should work fine. This should work fine. This should work fine. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I actually want to try the units out. Let me at least give him a higher level Elris so he can actually proc him more often. Who was my Elris though? I think it was Senya asset? Oh, you don't have it. Who was my Elris? Okay, it's enough. I don't know why it's not. It's actually gathering dust. This will work okay for now. I just want to see the damage and I want to see some other stuff. So, he's decent Molagora, right? It's decent Molagora. Not the greatest, but like, it'll function for what I need him to. Hey, Ravi already has a build. So Ravi's already built with counter. I might try the speed set later. Luna would have to work on the build. I don't think I have time for that. But if I was to get... Let me actually try this build. This is going to be just purely for fun. I don't think this is going to work, but I just want to see how it functions. Let me give her this set, actually. Y'all gonna think I'm trolling when you guys see this set. I just want to try this for fun, just to see if it functions. I don't think it will though. I think I'm way over critted though. This set doesn't work on her because it's way over critted. Ravi could look so. Just Sermia? Yeah, it's mostly the Sermia pieces. Man, I wish I had a good pen set. Yeah, this is gonna be way over critted. If I do the set I want to give her. Damn it. Let me see if I have a quick counter build. Let me actually do something a little bit quirky. I'm gonna do something quirky with this one. I don't think it's gonna be a good build, but it will be quirky. I don't need that much crit rate, so I can actually put it up there. There's no there. Oh man. Okay, we'll have to do her another day because I only have 10 minutes left and I want to try at least one fight with a Ravi and Mort. I do want to try Lifesteal Luna. I don't think it'll work, but I do want to try it. I will try this one another day. I only have 15 minutes left. 10-15 minutes. So I'm just going to take it into an RTA game. I do want to try the Lifesteal Luna in the future. But we'll pick Mort and we'll pick a Ravi. For sure. On this match. Even if it's not the best match for them. Sadly, I have someone that's coming over and they told me that they're 10 minutes out. Banshee farming not going well. Dude, my Banshee farming is the only place to farm. People actually use like, dude, last year was busted. Okay, let's ban this. He banned Charlotte. Luna would have been nice. Let's see. How do I make them not want to just land East enemy? Because that's the one I'm really worried about. It's the Landy and the Stena. Honestly, just Stena is the one I'm really worried about. Landy should be fine. Okay, he took Stena. That's the only unit I was worried about. Let's take Palms to Selective because it's a big counter. More is grass and a Ravi's dark. That's 2 bruisers. Let's bring Ross. Just so I can make them work a little bit better. Lifesteal Pen Luna could be nutty. Yeah, that's why I want to try that. I want to try Lifesteal Luna. Okay, he legit is going for all the fire units. All the units that actually get... If he doesn't pick Carrot, I'm forced to pick Carrot here. Okay, he's forcing me to pick Carrot here. We'll do this. And we'll do... Mort is not going to do good this match just because of the last Red Craw. Hey, Ravi does okay in this match, though.
Your life ends here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, it's not great. Like, these 2 picks together are not great. It's not ideal. Alright, let me open my door real quick. Oh, let me see.
If you're ready, let's go.
Yeah, they do have anti-synergy because Ross is always gonna pull... Ross will always pull the Carrot. That's what sucks, so I can't actually use it too well. But all these units die so hard to Carrot, dude. I don't mind that, actually. Let's see.
You may be worth my attention.
I will ban the Stena. I think we lose this one just because we got outdrafted. Yes, Sarmi and Carrot are sisters. When I turn on the lights, oh my god. Alright, let me see it. But we'll try more. I don't think he'll do a lot this match. But we'll see how he does. Why? This guy's an asshole. This guy can't let me have fun, dude. I kind of want the defense buff. So.
Son of light, burn!
Crown of Glory too. That's really annoying.
I will. No. I must win. You'll regret this.
All right. Do we strip the right buffs though? Do we do enough damage to break through it? Did that make you think he liked fun? Yeah. There's the first counter. Oh, okay. No, none of the duels.
You could try a little harder.
We might win this one just because of a Ravi. And for BlueStack, sometimes it can get pretty laggy, but it might be my laptop more than BlueStack.
Step back, flies.
And I want to kill Landy as fast as possible. Damn, we're kind of swinging, bro. We're actually kind of swinging, bro.
Now isn't the time to hesitate.
He's most likely gonna seal my A, Ravi, just so I don't get as much turn advantage.
Shall we begin?
LD player? Someone told me about it, actually.
Your word.
Someone actually reached out to me from LD player and mentioned if I wanted to try it. I'm still thinking about it, though. He went for FCC
Handle this.
instead of...
All right, let's do this.
Alright, we do have souls for dual attacking too.
This won't be an easy fight. All right, let's have some.
This fight's gonna take so long, though.
Over here.
Oh my god, he's gonna start running circles around us, though. Which is kind of good and bad for us, just because it's good because we actually get to cycle. It's bad and he loses immunity. It's bad because he's cycling us, right? So that's the bad part. This Amaro's gonna get to S3 really soon. Oh, he didn't land it again.
I'll deal with this.
Shall I have a go?
I don't think he kills anything here. At least he doesn't have enough. Not through Aureus.
Shall I test my theory?
Nice. That speed down is huge.
The spear, I won't back down.
I'll show you how I do.
We should be chilling. Injury is putting up a little bit of work. Not gonna lie. It's getting us somewhere.
I'll protect you.
I kind of want to just S2 for the safety of the kill. Just because if this doesn't kill, I don't want to risk it. So I'd rather just... Oh, I would have killed.
Found you.
And he has one more turn where I actually have to lock him down with Fallen Cecilia here.
Is that all you got?
And he's giving me a lot of turn advantage with these attacks, by the way.
I'll take your life.
I kind of want to hit the crow. Just so I can put injury on him. But now let's start working on this Last Rider crow.
Now isn't the time to hesitate.
No provoke either.
Regret this.
But he does have glancing head on me. I still have to go for the provoke onto the Amaro regardless.
Just follow my
Because this will... If I don't hit this, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Let's defy the odds.
We're in big trouble. Because he's gonna burn us to death, dude. Yeah, this is gonna hurt a lot.
Prove your existence.
We do have anchor though. So maybe we survive. Do we counter? No, no counter. Oh, he did miss a lot of the burns though. I think Kara gets one more S1 too. It is a anchor or a seed too.
How weak.
If I must fight,
Kara should get to go, right? I don't want to get her glancing hit. Start working on the Last Rider crawl.
I hope you're ready.
I'll show you some results.
And we get to S3, and that Amaru should be dead.
My secret method.
And it does stack. It would stack, but you're maxed out at 100. I was really hoping she wouldn't get that, but that puts it at death percentage
Your
though.
life ends here.
The craw's at horse range. So let's start working on this.
If you're ready, let's go. Victory is right.
So he's doing this for the defense buff. Who's he trying to kill though? Carrot? I don't think this kills through Aureus. And that's why he gets that too here. Okay, makes sense. I think a Ravi can solo from here. So I think we're safe. Man, this fight became a lot longer than I thought, dude. Ravi's slowly putting in work, though, on the last order cross. Last order cross is not going to do nearly as much damage to us. I can tell you that much. Like, last order cross is not going to do nearly as much damage as he normally would. S2 to kill my carrot. If he doesn't kill my carrot, I get a barrier on her from FCC. So he has to go for the carrot kill. Or for a provoke. I don't know what he's going for, though. So he ended up going for the carrot kill. That's fine.
This is a formidable opponent.
Okay.
Once more.
Here I go.
Nice.
All right.
He should have S3. Oh no, he has one more turn till S3. I'm pretty sure we kill him here too.
Should we get started?
I don't want the Amaru to get it to get the passive, so that's why I'm not going for
I
her.
desire your
I don't want her to get the big burn, right? That's why I'm going just small hits. He dies next turn, assuming I don't do an AoE skill.
Is that all you've got?
Okay, nice. No glancing hit.
Step.
Let's see the damage. This is what I really wanted to see.
I will open.
The doors to hell. Okay, that was not as impressive as I thought it would be. And now we wave goodbye at him and we laugh at him for banning our Mort. Bro, why would you ban Mort, bro? Why would you ban Mort, bro? The damage was not as crazy as I thought, but that's on a tanky unit through Aureus. With max stack, it would have done like what? 10 to 11k? That's not bad. I don't know if that was at Aureus, but that's not bad. It's not bad. We were also missing one stack. So, not bad. But alright, I do have to end the stream there. So, expect another stream sometime next week for a Ravi and for the other buffed units. Sadly, we didn't get to see more, but a Ravi felt good. It was Cardinal Glory. A Ravi felt good. A Ravi felt good. Not like, all in all, she felt shockingly okay. The extra 15% CR push is amazing. That was just incredible, dude. That was actually so nice. Like, getting that CR push consistently was like beautiful. It was so nice. So that was awesome. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank y'all for so much for coming. You will definitely see more of these units in the future, especially for more Luna, Alencia, and all that good stuff. To answer your question, Colonel, I am putting a video on that today, but I would say no, she's really out of meta right now, and there are better things you should be saving your bookmarks for. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you next time. Peace. Make sure to like and sub, by the way, because it helps the channels a ton. But yeah, that's all I got. See you next time.